Hello and welcome to the Saturn transition reading. Um, I spent a little time in meditation yesterday and asked any spirit guides, archangels, and ascended masters to come in and release any cards for any intended individual. So if there was a specific deck that you were drawn to upon first tuning into this video, I would say that's your deck. If you're kind of torn or unsure, I would pause this video and sit for a moment to reflect. Saturn has a lot to deal with career and discipline even, but mostly this transition into Aquarius will affect the career sector for a lot of people. So in your meditation, that's sort of what I would consider, like, if you could be doing anything ideally, what would it be? If you didn't have to worry about the money, if you can go beyond that, if you can go beyond the mindset that you need, steady work to make a living. If you can get beyond that, what would you do? If you weren't restrained by physicality, because Aquarius is so unrestrained. They're like the alien vibes of the zodiac. So, if your life were infused with magic, and if you did have just a wizard appear before you and say, I'll grant you one wish regarding your career, what would you like to be? What does that mean for you? Now just remember that this is a general reading, and so if what I say doesn't fully resonate with you, then take it with a grain of sand. Maybe this transit isn't going to be affecting you yet. Everyone kind of goes at their own pace. So, yeah. And if it's not resonating with you, then just don't listen to it. And that's okay. So with this transit, Saturn will be in Aquarius from March 21st until July 1st, and then it will go retrograde into Capricorn until December 17th, I think. And then it will go back into Aquarius for a couple of years. So if you were born between 1991 and I believe 1994, this transit will be affecting you more potently than a lot of people, or if you have a lot of planets in Aquarius, this will be affecting you more as well. And something that I have intuitively picked up a little bit about it going direct and then in retrograde and then direct again is that we're getting a taste of our future. We're going to be testing the waters of our destiny for a few months, and then when it goes back into Capricorn, that will be us readjusting and beginning to feel grounded with this new way of income or working or whatever that means. And then when it goes direct again in December, that will be when things begin picking up again, now that we've gained this confidence and trust in ourselves and the universe, source, God, whatever you believe, then we will be going even closer. So how I'm seeing it is one small step, integrating that, and then moving closer towards that which we're really meant to be doing. So, yeah, I did pull a few cards here. Once I had gotten all of these drawn, I'm going to go over those really quick, and then we'll start in. So These flew out while I was shuffling if the guides had anything else to say, which is funny because I've been talking about this Ten of Wands card in reverse quite frequently the last month or so. Ten of Wands is being oppressed in reverse, and with this Queen of Swords, it's like we have cut out what has been oppressing us. Again, that's going to be different for everyone. For some people, it might be a job. For some people, it might be a partner. For some people, it might be a way of thinking. For some people, it might be karma. Whatever it is, her sword is pointing to the world. So that phase is finishing up. Whatever this heavy thing was that was weighing on you is finishing up. And where is it leading? To a blessed new start, completely supported by the universe. A very fortunate new beginning, and having to trust because, see, this Fool is at the edge of a cliff. He's just trusting that he won't fall. So, yes, I do have a few other cards here that I think I'm going to read at the end. If I'm remembering right, this is sort of if we choose a different path. So we'll get to those later. I have 3 other cards up too that I've sort of had out as my own little mantras. So we have Imagine here. So using your mind to envision what it is you truly want without restraint. Higher power, so that the guides will be here with us, the Ascended Masters and Archangels. And regeneration, restarting, rebecoming from the ashes. So if you listen to all that, thank you. We are going to begin with this piece of volcanic rock. I'm just going to slide these over here. So, volcanic rock. What cards do we have for these people? So, we have the Two of Cups. Where can I put this so you'll see it? Let's go like that. Oh, even better. Sorry. Thanks for being patient, you guys. Okay, we have the Two of Cups. We have the Five of Spades, the Five of Swords, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Seven of Wands, Temperance, the Ace of Cups in reverse. How did that get out of order? And the Ten of Cups. For clarifiers, we have Death, Six of Cups, and the Star. And for oracle cards, we have Bountiful Harvest, Expansion, Keep Your Dreams Alive, and Falling. So I'm going to read this like a timeline. I'm thinking, yes, I am feeling this like a timeline because this one hopped out of order really randomly. I had the 2 decks separated, but they somehow made their way there. So, with this Two of Cups starting us out, I see a partnership. But with the Five of Swords, this partnership maybe made you feel stuck. Now, this could be a friendship, this could be a job, this could be a relationship, but it looks like you held your tongue with the Ace of Swords. You chose to not speak about it. With the Seven of Wands and Temperance, you persevered. You had some sort of inner knowing, I think, with that Ace of Swords, and you see the guy with the Seven of Wands is looking right at that Ace of Swords. So he knows, but he's fighting it off, all the bullshit. Really persevering. Moving towards the Temperance card, which is patience and waiting. And what are you waiting for? The Ace of Cups in reverse. The Ace of Cups in reverse. You are waiting to love yourself, because when you love yourself, that is when you will gain the abundance. You were maybe waiting because you loved yourself. You are waiting because you want to be patient with yourself. I think that can go back to testing the waters. And when you can show yourself that ultimate act of self-love, which goes a lot with this candle and burning, by the way, that self-love and compassion, then you will discover the Ten of Cups, which is absolute abundance and joy, harmony. And the clarifiers are Death, Six of Cups, and the Star. So there was an ending. I almost want to pull another clarifier here, because it's like there was an ending of some, oh, that's it. There was an ending of something old and familiar. There was an ending to something old and familiar, and through that ending, you are able to move towards your dream. That's absolutely it. Yeah, because you have this dream. And with the Star card, your guides in the universe want to fulfill it for you. But you need to trust. You need to have faith. I just got shivers. You need to have faith, you guys. That candle just freaking popped too. You must have faith that you can do it. And expand your vision, you guys. Expand beyond the limitations that you've placed on yourself. Because they no longer apply to you. If you change your mind, you change your circumstances. Bountiful harvest, you see, the world is literally being given. You might be 28 if you drew this one. The number 28 is here, and that would mean that you're in your Saturn returns right now. Your Saturn return. So your Saturn is in Aquarius. You're having maybe a major career shift here. But you have the whole world in your hands. You just need to have faith. And see here with expansion. Oh my gosh. Can I just say, keep your dreams alive? Little Saturn down here. Check that out. Anyway, with expansion, there are two hands here, which goes back to the Two of Cups energy of partnership. So, perhaps the other partnership you were in was not serving you. It was not maybe the soul family connection that you were looking for. And when you can acknowledge that and that it was holding you back with this Five of Swords, and when you can release it fully by actually showing yourself self-love, because keeping yourself in a place that's holding you down and holding you back, even though you gave yourself this time to think about it instead of just making a snap decision, that was self-care. But self-care is also choosing to move forward and trusting that you can expand. You can expand beyond this. Yes. And falling, drop into the deep end of your soul. So you might have dreams, falling dreams, which might mean that you're feeling a little bit of anxiety. I'm going to read the Dream Oracle cards, though. They're fairly new in my little library, and they're pretty helpful. It might resonate with you. Falling dreams. So first there is an oracle message, and then there is the dream symbol and a mantra to go with it. So let me look at this card. It's really beautiful. What is overwhelming you? A new relationship, job, or life situation? All this change may leave you spinning and disoriented, feeling a bit out of control. Take heart in knowing that you are an infinite being, dropped into the depth of your soul's ever-unfolding nature. Wings are provided upon request to facilitate a soft landing on solid ground of your spiritual essence. The adventure has just begun, so you can now explore a deeper level of your true nature and a greater insight into your purpose for being alive. Remember, sometimes things need to fall apart before they come back together in a new and better way. From this perspective, your challenge is to learn to drop into your depth with grace. Wow, guys, that really resonates. Releasing a partnership that made you feel stuck and giving yourself time, and then deciding to show yourself the ultimate act of self-love, to walk away from that and walk into abundance, because what was pinning you down was also keeping you from abundance, because it was a lack mindset, is what I'm getting. Whether it was being in a relationship for money, staying at a job just for money, I don't know, doing something because of the money instead of loving it. And yeah, you don't need to do it anymore, is what I'm getting. Again, take this with a grain of salt. Don't go quit your job if you love it just because I said this and you chose this deck. If it's resonating, then it's probably something you were meant to hear. That being said, I'm also not gonna give you the advice to go quit your job. And I don't know, guys. If it's resonating, it is. If it's not, don't worry about it. Okay, the dream meaning. Dreams of falling signify a feeling of loss of control, insecurity, overwhelm, or lack of confidence. You may be losing your step as a result of not having your feet firmly planted on the ground, or you may be in a growth spurt in your life, experiencing changes and thus feeling that you're in over your head. Oh yes, getting over those mindsets that have been pre-programmed, you guys. That takes a lot of time, especially when it's ancestral. You may be judging yourself for having failed at something you set out to do. It is also believed that there are falling spirits that are beckoning you to them so they can initiate you into a deeper level of wisdom, power, and awareness. Your mantra at this time is, I am grounded in the bedrock of the here and now, rooted to the heart of unconditional love. I am grounded in the bedrock of here and now, rooted to the heart of unconditional love. So also, if you drew this one, I would recommend taking some time to go in nature and reflect. Maybe if you've been worrying about this decision as you've been persevering and taking your time to think about it, this Ace of Cups could be asking you to turn inwards, and nature might be a potent way for you to do that, to go get grounded and to feel what feels right to you, and to trust that you will be held no matter what you choose. Especially if it's a choice that's for your greater good, just trust that it's also for the greater good of all other beings, because when you live authentically and true to yourself, that creates space and hope for others to do the same. So trust that. Okay, we're moving on to the second deck with the sodalite on it. All right. So if you chose the sodalite, more endings. Okay. We have the Princess of Swords. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Justice card. We have the World card. Right below the World card. To clarify, we have the Ace of Swords, the Hangman, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Your Oracle cards are Ideal Course of Action, Catch Your Breath, and Make a Wish. And your Dream card is Color, Express Your Feelings. So right away, I see these two are being linked, because Ace of Swords, which was in the last one in reverse, see, about not saying something. This is about saying something. So either You may have had some sort of conversation. You might have said something that made you lose your job, maybe, or made you lose a relationship, maybe. As the Princess of Swords can kind of be maybe a little bit more immature in the way that she communicates than, say, the Queen of Swords. But that's also important to express your feelings, and if you expressed the way that you truly felt and it made you lose a job and maybe lose the abundant income, that was justice being served. That was justice being served, and it was being done for a reason. Perhaps you were holding on too long to this. It's funny that we have the Hangman here because he is also about waiting, you guys, and you got catch your breath. So this is really similar to the first reading, honestly. It's a little bit spooky. There's some similarities going on here. So, Princess of Swords, 3 of Pentacles reversed, 9 of Pentacles reversed, Judgment, the World, Ace of Swords, the Hangman, and Ace of Pentacles. I definitely feel like if you drew this, you said your truth and it created an ending. It broke down some sort of foundation that you had been building. Or you may have found something out. With the Princess of Swords, I see her as somebody who's also studious, who sees clearly, mental clarity. So maybe you didn't choose this ending, maybe you didn't, but maybe you did. Either way, there was an ending for this one too. So funny with that 10 of Wands in reverse and the World. Because you have the World card here, which signifies an ending. With the Judgment card next to it, it makes me feel like this was divinely guided, even if it may have felt like something that was inconvenient or hard at the time, that it was because whatever it was no longer resonated with you. The Princess of Swords definitely makes me feel like there was a conversation. Maybe you were talking or someone else was talking and someone didn't like what was being said. And so either this relationship or this job, whatever, ended. The income or the abundance that came with it ended. But just know these are 2 major arcanas and this is a major arcana. So there's something more beautiful coming your way. This ended because it was outgrown. With that, the best course of action for you now is to take this time to yourself instead of just jumping into something else first. Because then you'll just end up learning the same lessons again and again. Oh my god, that's so funny. Ace of Wands, the Hangman, so maybe feeling stuck after this conversation because you lost your job. Or there's a conversation and a little bit of time that we were hanging out in limbo and then you lost your job or a relationship, whatever it was, your income, your financial stability. Anyway, the ideal course of action is to catch your breath and make a wish. And this wish is the first card of the Oracle, which makes me feel like that's this Fool and the Wheel of Fortune. So I think that this would be an ideal time. Oh my god, to go hug a tree. This reading is so similar to the first reading. It's time to go hug a tree and get grounded. It's not time to just jump into something else right now. Trust that you will be taken care of. Maybe you need to budget and not spend a ton of money right now. Be a little bit frugal, potentially. Even though I don't see the 4 of Pentacles here, that could help wipe away any anxiety you might have. But just trust that if you take this time for yourself, to really sit aside and ask, what if you could do anything? What did I say at the beginning? If you could do anything, what would you do? Take that time to find that out for yourself and then make a wish and intend that it'll happen for you, that it's already happening, and that's why you lost your job, because there was something so much better. So much better. And with these flamingos symbolize community. So Know that you also have a community backing you. You might have a strong support system, and that's why you don't need to worry, because even if you are a little bit worried about funds right now, you probably have friends who are also there who can help you. Somebody is going to want to help you out, I feel. But just trust that something far better is coming your way, because you expressed your truth. And when you express your truth, you're rewarded with this Judgment card. You are rewarded because you're not being false to yourself or anybody else. And that authenticity will bring you even closer to your true purpose by default. Your oracle message is, if your emotions could speak, what would they say? Be bold, be bright, be wild, sing, dance, play, cry, yell, and laugh. In other words, be alive while you're alive. Draw your attention to your unique creative wellspring of technicolor self-expression. Don't worry about fitting in, blending in, or being safe. Every color of the rainbow is beautiful, necessary, and yours for the exploring. Use your entire palette and paint with brush strokes, broad strokes, It's okay to go outside the lines. Participate vividly in your life. You might be an artist. You might have been working a job that was dulling your creativity, and when you expressed your true feelings, it all fell apart. So maybe it's time to do art. Maybe this time to catch your breath is time to do art. And a meaning, colors in a dream symbolize feeling, passion, and emotion. If a person or thing in your dream is particularly vibrant, it's a message to pay attention. Colors symbolizes significance and importance. Dreams that feature a specific color signify strong feelings and creativity, and that you are in or are moving towards a creative peak as you're catching your breath, moving away from this BS, whatever that was, dulling your creativity. In the Hindu chakra system, each color has a specific meaning, placement on your body, and emotional, physical, and spiritual functionality. So if you're not aware of that yet, your root chakra is red, your sacral is orange, your solar plexus is yellow, your heart chakra is green, your throat chakra is blue, your third eye is indigo, and your crown is violet. So you can look those up if you're curious, since it mentioned them. And if you notice a specific color in your dreams sticking out to you, just look it up with the symbol, and it can give you some potent information if you drew this deck. Your mantra is, I allow the full rainbow of my creative brilliance to paint the canvas of my life. I allow the full rainbow of my creative brilliance to paint the canvas of my life. That's beautiful. So yeah, if you drew the second deck, I feel like your path is definitely to be an artist in some way, shape, or form. And maybe what you were clinging to before was to try to support you as you did art, but I feel like it was dulling your creative drive. And so maybe you weren't producing the kind of art that you were hoping to, and that's why you lost that job or that relationship, or left it, because you intuitively knew, or the universe knew, that it was preventing you from progressing on your creative path. So that second deck was for artists. I'm definitely feeling it. Just be patient with yourself. Allow yourself this time. Don't just go jump into the same old thing, because that cycle ended and you need to let it end. All right. If you drew the third deck, I think this is Aventurine. I think. Deck 3. Let's take a look at what you've got here. All right. The Moon, Le Fool, Three of Wands, and the Empress. I've been looking forward to reading this one. It was so freaking obvious to me when it fell out. To some people, it might not even feel like a job, but whatever. Five of Cups, Three of Pentacles, both in reverse, and the Ten of Wands, which is the same one here. You have Love Matters, Higher Ground, Shift Your Energy, and house or home come to the resonance of your soul. Resonance. Ooh, they're even rhyming, you guys. So, all right, you drew deck 3. You're probably going to get pregnant. Just going to be real here, because the moon is the mother and also pregnancy. Your belly looks like a moon. The Fool could be birth of a new child. It's also this here. It's the childlike energy, the beginning of life, the beginning of a new journey and path. 3 is expansion. Literally, your belly is expanding. And the Empress is like the mother energy and also pregnancy. These 3 are major arcana cards. And with home here, you might be a stay-at-home mother. This might be your time, you guys. This one's really, 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 really obvious to me. If you're not feeling that, you might be expanding creatively using your intuition, because she's creative. The moon is intuitive. The Fool is like childlike energy, and the 3 of Wands can be also creative expansion. But with the 5 of Cups here in reverse, with like this blood spilling out of the cups, it just feels to me like I was gonna say like your water breaking. It could also point to a miscarriage, if I'm being honest, you guys. That's really sad. I actually didn't pick that up before, but for some of you it might mean that. I'm really sorry if it does. The 3 of Pentacles. I feel like this is building a home all on your own. Inner home even. Or let's say more of a focus on building something, creating a solid foundation for this child. And with the 10 of Wands there, that's the same card as right here. So you have the Fool that's here, and you have the 10 of Wands that's here. So with the 10 of Wands here, this could literally just be carrying the weight of a child, because that's an extra, like, what, 8 to 10 pounds, 6 to 10 pounds, whatever. It could also be that when you have a child, you do take on some karma because you bring it into the world. Obviously, it's not like a bad thing. It's just that you've left a DNA imprint in something, so it could be saying that. I'm not going to elaborate on this much more, but with it, just know that love matters. So if you are living in a home that you aren't feeling love, or if it's for reasons besides love, I would maybe look at that, because your child will be born into whatever karma you're in now. I would say with this, there is a young child here that says higher ground, and then a woman here with a bunch of flowers and animals here, like she is the Empress energy of the earth. Shift your energy. So, speaking on that karma still, it's a really important time for you to now look at this 10 of Wands energy, what you might still be carrying, because if you are carrying a child, they might take that energy. Well, not might. If you don't deal with your karma, your child will have to. It's not, I'm not trying to scare you, because we all have ancestral karma, and even if you do your best, they'll probably still have something to work through. But I think your work at this time is an internal work. Looking at your karma, getting over this heartbreak, things that have hurt you in the past, and looking at the wands, the 10 of Wands, the heavy burdens that you're still carrying, so you can shift to higher ground, so that the child will have a little bit of an easier time. I'm not going to elaborate on that anymore. I am running out of time on my thing. I need to read your oracle card first. So if you drew the third one and you're not expecting to get pregnant, I would say just be extra careful. And if you're also not pregnant, I would say just make sure you're taking care of your own physical surroundings and tapping into your Mother Earth feminine energy. And that's your job. But I really this screams pregnancy to me so much that my mind will not get out of that definition of it. So come home to the residence of your soul resonance. Drop your bags and all your worldly armor at the door. It's time for you to come home to your true identity, the place where you are enveloped by unconditional love and acceptance, like that of a child. Think of yourself as an adventurous angel who has traveled long and far. Perhaps you are a bit homesick for heaven, longing for the environment that matches your deep sense of authenticity and connection. The more you incorporate the authentic expression of your soul essence into your physical life, the more this place called Earth will bear a resemblance to the place from whence you came. The dream meaning is identity. Dreaming of a house symbolizes your view of yourself, your body, and your mind. The levels of the house represent different parts of the mind, the attic being the higher consciousness, main floor is the ego perspective, and the basement is the unconscious. On a physical level, the shape, size, and decor of the house, as well as the activity within it, are a reflection of how you think and how you see yourself. If you are uncomfortable with the home in your dream, this indicates that self-improvement is needed. If you're comfortable with the home in your dream, you're at home within your own skin and have integrated a great deal of your soul's infinite essence within the four walls of your finite human experience. Your mantra at this time is, there's no place like home, so I carry home with me wherever I roam. So rhymey, this one. There's no place like home, so I carry home with me wherever I roam. Your child, duh, because it's in your stomach. It loves you unconditionally and knows you unconditionally and is your own little slice of heaven, and you do carry it with you everywhere you go. Moving on. Okay, seriously, yeah, if you got that one and you're not expecting a pregnancy, use protection, get tested, or get birth control of sorts, because that one screams pregnancy in so many more ways than just one or two cards. Almost every card screamed pregnancy to me. All right, stay-at-home mom. That sounds like a fun life. Getting to take care of the home and take care of yourself, and maybe even, spend time making art or something on your maternity leave. All right. Here we have, I don't know which way I want to read this. I'm going to read it this way because then it'll go in order. 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 7 of Swords, 9 of Wands, and 9 of Pentacles. You have 3 nines here, you guys. We have 2 of Pentacles, Judgment in reverse, and the Hermit in reverse. And then your Oracle cards are Potential Gateway, Clear Endeavor, and Infinite Blessings. Oh, I'm really running out of time. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry if it gets cut off. Your Oracle card is Alien, accept that you are an unrepeatable, spectacular phenomena. So, 9 of Cups and 10 of Cups speak of something emotional to me, emotional fulfillment. With it moving towards the 9 of Wands and 9 of Pentacles, I feel like that's turning into a spiritual empowerment. This is the single lady that don't need no man, and this is the spiritual person who's had the courage to keep going and really go after what it is they want. Here we have 2 of Pentacles, so finding the balance. This is okay, so you have the Judgment card and the Hermit card in reverse. So this could be, Interesting. This could be the other way too. It could be that you're moving towards a place of not being alone. So whichever way you guys feel it. I felt like it should go in this order because then it would be like 9, 10. Otherwise it would have been 10, 9. So it felt more right this way. But for me, it feels like 7 of Swords is like getting away. I feel like this is getting away or creating space in your, oh my god, that's totally what this is. Creating space in your relationship. I don't think you're necessarily leaving it, but creating that space for your own empowerment. That's totally what this is. Creating space for your own empowerment. Because when you weren't getting the alone time, it was creating some sort of judgment, maybe judgment towards yourself. It may have been clouding your judgment. It may have made you judge your partner or your partner to judge you. So getting away and creating this space for yourself is really important at this time. As far as career goes, I think this is the time for you to discover it because you might have been placing a lot on relationships before, and now you're finally discovering your own power with this lion here, with this Kundalini, and her own personal power literally pouring out of her. She has a solid judgment here as she's taking more time to be alone. Through doing this, you have potential gateway, clear endeavor, and infinite blessings. So, through taking this time to yourself with this alien card, I think of Aquarius, I feel like this will be a time of meditation for you, whatever that means. A clear path will be made for you that will sprinkle these beautiful blessings on you. And these two go together perfect because there's snow, little snowflakes. Can you see? That's beautiful. All right, so I don't think you're necessarily walking away from a relationship here. I think you're just creating a little space to do your thing and uncover your true purpose. I think you're just needing that time so you can know what it is you really want to do. And your oracle, your dream oracle, is alien. The oracle message is that you are unique just like everyone else. Being cast out is among one of our deepest, most primal fears, but you can relax knowing that despite appearances, you are inherently connected to the whole of life. With this awareness, it is now safe to probe into the places where you feel different, where your out of sight, out of the box talents and genius waits to express with a bullhorn. Bring light to these hidden aspects of your uniqueness and watch the illusion of separateness and your longing for belonging dissipate. Honor the fact that you stand out from the crowd and learn to wave your freak flag with pride. So maybe you might even be coming out here, you guys, with the inner judgment, waving your freak flag with pride. You might be coming out. Or you might have just been feeling judged also and needed to step away to see what really felt true to yourself. In a dream, aliens mean uniqueness. Often what is most alien to us is ourselves, especially our higher selves. Alien dreams reveal feelings of rejection, loneliness, and alienation. Perhaps you're afraid of exposing your true self for fear of being cast out. If your dream takes place in outer space, you're opening to a universal perspective beyond the myopia of mundane, ordinary life, tapping into unexplored solutions and inspiration. A higher vision is now here to assist you with your earthbound challenges. And your mantra: I am a one-of-a-kind creation, and my uniqueness is fully embraced by my universal family that is united in love. Wherever I go, I know that I am home. I am a one-of-a-kind creation, and my uniqueness is fully embraced by my universal family that is united in love. Wherever I go, I know that I am home. So if you do the last one, you are finding yourself through alone time, definitely stepping away from a relationship that may have been consuming your time to better know yourself and your own power and what that means for you. Again, that doesn't mean that you have to fully exit the relationship, but a little bit of space would help to create that balance. And I think I'm actually out of time. So this is what could happen if it doesn't end. Pretty much, we're not expanding then, and uh, it might create hurt and pain and heartbreak. So just know that, you guys, if whatever the ending is for you,